Hello, hello, and welcome to Elden Ring for Old People. We're in South Limgrave, having taken the first steps in West Limgrave last time round, and we also created some fire pots, I beg your pardon. And what we're going to do now is we're going to pop those fire pots into our shortcut menu, our shortcut basket, if you like, so that we can easily fling these things at people. I mean, you can use them for regular foes, but I recommend preserving them for bosses. And that's going to be particularly important in this video. Just going to go back to the Church of Ella and upgrade the sword. Last time round, we not only created some cracked pots, but we also, let's just talk to this, the witch and foremost, a very interesting character. I won't give you any plot spoilers if you haven't played this game yet. And she is going to give us the Spirit Calling Bell and some Lone Wolf Ashes, which are absolutely essential in tackling bosses. I mean, absolutely essential. If you're a really good gamer, you don't need them. But if you're a beginner like me, you absolutely are going to rely on this. It's going to be your prop. So let's put these Spirit Ashes in the shortcut menu as well. These are essentially the spirits that you can summon to help you fight a boss. They're only summonable in certain areas, and we will see shortly about that. Now first, let's go back to upgrading the sword. We picked up a couple of smithing stones. We've got 3 smithing stones, and we're going to use 2 of those smithing stones to upgrade our sword. And then we're going to go and tackle our first boss. We're going to tackle 3 bosses in this video. That sounds like quite a lot. I'm switching back to my broadsword because I still don't have the attributes required for the Lord Sohn's greatsword. But we will collect that very quickly. We have 14 strength and we need 16 strength, just as a reminder. Little note here, this chap had these little gold sparkles in his eyes. That means he gives you either 4 or 5 times the usual runes. So my runes held as he's gave us something like 400 runes, I think. Whereas normally he would give us no, he must have given us less than that. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. Maths for the insane. I won't do that now. Let's finish off these chaps. We're retracing some old ground here, but that's because we missed something last time we came this way. The old guard counter, don't forget. That is our modus operandi for the early stages of the game. And indeed, for some of the late stages of the game as well, it still comes in useful. We just pick up some useful runes by smacking these guys for the moment, so that we can upgrade our strength to the point where we can use the Lord Sohn's greatsword. That's going to make our lives a lot easier. Mushrooms, just as a reminder, yeah, we can make another fire pot here. Just as a reminder, what you need to make fire pots are mushrooms and smoldering butterflies. And there's a few smoldering butterflies in that first ruin we visited, whose name I have forgotten. Yeah, let's quickly rest. Okay, sorry, I thought we could level up. We can't. If you remember, we bought a torch, and that torch is going to come in handy now. I mean, you can see how dark it is. Without the torch, navigating these caves is virtually impossible. This is the Groveside Cave, which I think is I think it's just so perfectly leveled in terms of difficulty for this stage. It's challenging, but not impossible. These wolves, just remember, patience is the key to wolves. Hold up the shield and do the guard counter. They become perfectly simple when you do that. There is one wolf, the leader of the pack is this white wolf, who will make an appearance shortly. There he is. And he does 2 bites, like so. So make sure you don't go into your guard counter too soon, because he'll get a bite in and he takes a big chunk of health. Like so. 2 shots. Oh, missed the guard counter. As you can see, he is not easy. I say he, but we don't know it's a he, of course. I'm one of those people who tends to, refer to all dogs as he and all cats as she. It's absolutely ridiculous, I know. Anyway, wolves are he in my somewhat simple brain. Anyway, that's him done. Okay. As you can see, the real challenge in these caves is not so much the difficulty of our foes, but the light. Because you can't... Oh, there's another crackpot. I don't have the materials for another fire pot, but if you are so inclined at this point to go and farm some more smoldering butterflies and mushrooms, you can have, I think, 4 crackpots at this point, which is really more than enough for our first boss, who's coming up very shortly. And we just pick up a couple of items here. Silver fireflies. So these thin beast bones that we gather from these wolves, they can be used to make ranged weapons. They can be used to create arrows. We don't have the appropriate cookbook to create arrows at this stage. I'm just putting something. Anyway, just ignore what I just did. It wasn't that important. Right. Now we're going to tackle our first boss. We've got our lone wolf ashes, and we've got our fire pots, and that's everything we need for this boss. Even if you're not very confident with your gameplay at this stage, with the help of these 2 tools, this boss should be a breeze. So the wolves, as I mentioned, spirits that you can summon, and they in themselves will take a good chunk out of this the Beast of Farum Azula. But on top of that, we're using these fire pots. I mean, look at how much of its health that fire pot ate. Let's do it one more time to show you. There you go. It's like a good 1/5 of his health. So imagine if you had like 4 of these, you could do half his health. More than half his health. And the wolves just pretty much do the rest. I'm just going to give him a whack just for the hell of it. But you can actually, I think, get away with getting nowhere near this beast. The wolves and the fire pots alone should do the trick. He gives you a talisman. It's not a hugely useful talisman, to be fair, but we are going to put it on because it's the only one we have, and we can use a talisman. So here we go. We're done with the first boss. So that was fun. It was fun because we were so well prepared that we were able to tackle it. I don't know if you've tried this boss before without these tools and you've had a tough time with it. You don't have to. You don't have to. Use the tools that are available in the game. And now we've got enough runes to... Oh, we can level up a couple of times. Yeah. So let's get our strength up to 16, and that's brilliant news. It might take you a little longer to get to that stage, but once you get to 16, we can switch to this excellent sword. It's far more powerful than the broadsword. This is the other sword we picked up from our mounted battle, but we're nowhere near the requirements for it. So let's go back to the Lord Sown's greatsword. The Lord Sown's greatsword is going to take us through basically the first stage of our journey. It's so far more powerful than the broadsword. It does take longer to swing. Right. So let's do the coast now. That's what we're going to do. Make sure you break these skulls. They contain these golden runes. Each golden rune gives you about 200. 200 runes. And we are killing this turtle not out of cruelty or just for the hell of it, but for a very good reason. We want this turtle neck meat. It's very helpful for crafting another very useful item at a later stage. In the meantime, let's head to the coast. Skirting around the Church of Valor. Actually, we just passed a herba there, like this light green shrub, which is very useful for a later item. So I can't be asked to go back and pick it up now. But yeah, Just letting you know. It's near the Church of Ella. Right, we're heading down to the coast now, and there's this giant here. This giant, if you can be bothered to figure out how to kill it, will give you 1,000 runes, which is very, very useful at this stage. But I do think it's quite challenging without a bit of practice. I am not going to bother, because I might die and lose my street cred. But if you want to give it a go, please do. Right, now this is an invisible scarab, and it is worth trying to get, because I think it gives you a useful Ash of War. Don't remember what it is. I'll give it a couple of tries, and if it doesn't work out, yeah, while we're waiting, I'll talk to you a little bit about the Lordstone's Greatsword. It takes longer to swing, but it gives you a lot more damage. So I'm going to give it a swing now, just to demonstrate. The broadsword, oh, bollocks, missed it. Anyway, the broadsword is much quicker and far less powerful. And this also has a very decent Ash of War that comes with the sword, which I'll demonstrate shortly when we go and tackle our next. Oh, screw this. I mean, it is worth standing there and figuring that one out, but I'll just pop a reminder to come back and pick up that Ash of War if I feel so inclined. Okay, when you see that little white door-like symbol to the left, that means you can summon your spirits, and we are going to do that in order to get these octopuses, or octopi, whatever you prefer. The key to these octopuses is to hit them really hard, really quickly, because once they get staggered like that, you can just do this stabbing thing and finish them off easily. I finished that one off very easily, which is deceptive because they can be an absolute bitch. They hit very hard, they swing their tentacles all over the place, and they can kill you very, very rapidly. But so the trick is, I'm using my Ash of War here. It's this beautiful. Oh, that didn't work. Just stepping back because I'm a bit cautious with this thing. Oh, damn it! I didn't get the stab in. I didn't get the extended stab animation in. But look at that! The way they whack those tentacles around is insane. And the other crazy thing that they do is, I'm fat rolling, which is why I'm getting rid of the torch, and now I've got a normal. I'll talk about fat rolling in a sec. Let's just finish this off. Oh, come on! I'm making a complete meal of this. Right. Just. Oh, look at that! One cool thing about this octopus is it, when it goes down on health, it eats one of its own tentacles to get back some of its health. I mean, I just love those little touches in Elden Ring. With even the most sort of basic foes, they always have some kind of weird and wonderful mechanic. And the octopus eating its own tentacle is one of my favorites. Let's see, kill off these octopus babies, or didn't have to do that. Lovely. Thank you, my good friends. Good boys. Or girls. I think these are useful for something. I don't remember what, these ruin fragments, but anyway. They're usually around ruins, believe it or not. Here we go. Let's move on. Another turtle. Once again, we'll talk about why later, but these turtles are the turtle neck meat that they drop, and it's a guaranteed drop, I think. Every single turtle drops this. They're very useful. Right. In case you were struggling with that Ash of War business that I was discussing earlier, what Ashes of War actually are, there's plenty of videos on YouTube by other people, but I also discuss it in my first video. Let's finish off these half animal, half human creatures. If you remember, we met a half human, half rat called Bok earlier. We're going to go and meet him again. These demi-humans, as they're called, are... Anyway, I don't know what I have nothing to say about them. They're part of the game. Right. This chap has a super useful item, and that is the bow and arrow. If you haven't got it from the start, I always purchase the smithing stones whenever I see them. And this particular cookbook is also useful because it helps you make fire arrows, the fire bow and arrows, and you can make that with the bones that you farm from wolves and sheep and so on. For now, I'm using some of my golden runes in order to get some more runes to buy the bow and a bunch of arrows. So I'm going to get the bow here and as many arrows as my runes allow. 15. Yeah. I'll just get 15 for the moment. We want about 30 for the third boss. I know we've only done the first boss, and we'll come back for the Armorer's Cookbook to get some fire and arrows. And once again, just because there's so much going on in this game and it's so easy to forget stuff, I'm just going to mark this as a merchant to come back to. I think that's a good practice because it's so easy to lose track of what you've done and what you still have left to do. We're going to go into this cave here. This cave is full of demi-humans who are, honestly, they're piss easy. However, sorry, the main challenge in this cave is the light. It's an extremely dark cave. And so, oh yeah, I didn't end up talking about fat rolling. Honestly, if you have heavy load and your rolls are extremely slow, you'll be massively disadvantaged in this game. So it's better to go without armor. Let's talk to Bok here. This is the Bok, the tree which turned into a rat/human. I mean, this game is so bizarre sometimes. You don't know whether to take the stuff seriously or not. Anyway, what am I doing here? Oh yeah, I just want to quickly mention that what we're going to do in the first stages of this game is focus on health, building up health and stamina. Health for obvious reasons, and stamina allows you to attack more number of times. I don't know if that makes sense. You see that green bar will reduce every time you swing your sword. Right now, I can swing the sword about 4 times, I think, before I run out of energy, so to speak, or stamina. Yeah, I'm just demonstrating the bow and arrow here. Every attack you do takes up stamina. As you can see, the green bar, which is your stamina, is reduces every time you shoot an arrow or swing your sword. So it's a really good idea to get your stamina right up so you can attack more. More in any given skirmish. So as I mentioned earlier, the real challenge with this cave is the light. So what you have to do is use the torch to see what your enemy is up to or where they are, and then target them, and then you'll have a better idea of where they are even when it's dark. But it's not easy, it takes a bit of practice. There he is. So take the shield out, and yeah. In case this is an obvious thing to say, I apologize if this is an obvious thing to say, but if you have your torch and your shield in your left hand, you can swap between them. And the other thing you can do is you can also two-hand your weapon. And when you one-hand your weapon and you have your torch in your other hand, the torch pops up. Sorry, am I over-explaining? I probably am, but maybe some people will be grateful for that. Other people will be like, shut the hell up, dude. Anyway, we're about to do our second boss, and in this boss we have plenty of help because we also have this gold summon sign. This is our first gold summon sign. They crop up sort of intermittently through the game for some bosses, and I have absolutely no idea why this chap is here helping us with this. There's definitely going to be a reason for it, which I haven't discovered, because this game doesn't do anything without a reason. But we've got the old knight Istvan, we've got our lone wolves, and if you were a little bit better prepared than I am, you'd probably have some fire pots going as well. We have 4 cracked pots, which means we can create 4 fire pots, and that would make this boss fight quite easy. There's 2 of these demi-human chiefs, and some assorted sort of foot soldiers as well. I love this Ash of War that comes with this sword. You can swap it around for something else, but it's so good. It just like it does this extended upwards sweep, which sends people flying into the air. Anyway, this is a bit of a chaotic fight. Lots of people involved, lots of enemies, lots of friends. Fortunately, in this game, there's no friendly fire, so even if you whack one of your side by mistake, nothing actually happens to them. Okay, that's Demi-Human Chief number 1 done. And when one of them is gone, the other one becomes piss easy. Nope, don't have any fire pots. Yeah, just love doing that. The disadvantage of that Ash of War, I am going to swap it for something else very shortly. The disadvantage of that Ash of War is just the fact that it's quite slow, and if there's someone attacking you, it's very hard to get it right. And so these chaps give you tailoring tools, which we are going to give to our friend Bok to advance his quest. It's not a quest that you have to do. There are some quests in this game that are pretty much essential, in my opinion, but the Bok quest line, I don't know what you get out of it. Probably nothing spectacular. By the way, there is stuff to explore in this cave. There is something pretty cool up ahead, so do explore in your own time. I'm not going to do it in this video because this is a bare essentials video series. I'm only going to go through what's absolutely required because this is a very, very long game. But anyway, even though Bok isn't a bare essential, I am going to go and give him these tailoring tools, so he can follow us around and stitch some clothes for us, which has, honestly, very limited value. But he's a sweet guy, Bok. Makes me happy to make him happy. I mean, not happy, he doesn't become happy. Becomes less suicidal, I suppose. Poor Bok. Anyway, suicide isn't a matter for... that wasn't a joke, by the way. That is literally what he says. It's not a matter for humor, obviously. So these are the Ashes of War that we do have. We have Determination. And we have... I'm just going to test out Determination. I've never actually tried it. I think what Determination does is it just boosts your power. It just boosts the attacking potential of your weapon. Anyway, now that we've collected a few runes, I'm going to go back and buy what we wanted to buy from this merchant. There was a couple of things I couldn't afford last time around.
You again. I don't want any.
Just want to buy stuff from you, dude. Here we go. And now we can craft fire arrows, which is pretty useful.
You again. I don't want any.
I don't have anything else I need from him. Just pick up some arrows. I think that 15 will do. I'll now have nearly 30 arrows and 28 arrows or so, and that is good enough for our third boss. But before we tackle our third boss, we have enough smithing stones to upgrade our weapon even further, which is terrific news. Don't have enough runes to do it though, so yeah, I think I'll just use some of these. There is a risk of hoarding these golden runes. I mean, I think there's a strong argument for using them up as and when, because runes get less valuable as the further you go into the game. So if it makes sense, these initial golden runes are going to be less valuable as you get further into the game. Here's another one, Golden Rune 2. The higher up you go in numbers, the more runes they give you when you break them. I don't know if I ever explained at any point what these golden runes actually do, but hopefully it's self-evident at this point because I've already used a few of them. We're going to go hit our third boss, which is in a dungeon. The dungeons in this game are one of my favorite bits of the game, and these weird creatures with back problems, they guide you towards those dungeons. So weird statues, I beg your pardon, not creatures. And they give you a rough idea of where these dungeons are. They're very hard to spot otherwise. So, yeah, as I was saying, these dungeons, they all have a sort of similar-ish pattern, but different enough and challenging enough to provide you with a fresh challenge each time. I really enjoy them. I love them, actually. They're just so much fun. Once you get the knack of it, I mean, if you're struggling with them, they can be really, really frustrating. The imps that you encounter in these dungeons can be an absolute pain. My top tip for imps, well, let's encounter an imp before I start talking about them. Plot spoilers much? There we go. That is an imp. And they hit hard, man. They hit bloody hard. But with a shield, they are manageable. Not necessarily easy, but much easier and far more manageable if you let them hit you with the shield and use the guard counter. All these dungeons follow the same format, which is they have this large door which leads to the boss, and in order to open that door you have to delve further into the dungeon and find the switch. In this case, that switch is up there on that on the higher floor, higher story. This chap's not going to come down, is he? Well, we need to convince him to come down. Maybe shooting with an arrow will help. Let's give it a go. Oh. There we go. Nope. Alright, let's just hover around here and see if he drops down. If not, we'll just move on. Oh, there he is. Hello, my friend. Forked hatchet may be a good weapon. I've never tried it because I don't like the look of it. I let the aesthetics of this game rule my gameplay way too much. I love swords, so damn it. Another imp hiding up there. Let's finish him off. This is instant death, this fire thing, so we need to avoid it. You can duck into this corridor here, but there's another stream of fire up ahead to avoid. I could have risked that, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, let's run. Yeah. Okay, you can explore further. You can go past the fire-breathing statues and find other stuff in this dungeon. I'm not going to do it. Once again, this is a bare essentials video, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, we're going to finish off these imps. Remember, shield and guard counter. That's your winning formula every time. And these creatures just create these traps. Look, that chap draws you in, and then the other one comes and scythes you from above. I prefer to tackle them one by one, so I'm happy to be patient, as patient as possible. And, just top up our health here, and then take this guy on. Come on, come on. I kind of want him to hit my shield because he kind of, I say he again, but these imps kind of get slightly staggered every time they hit you on the shield. That's what makes them a little bit easier to handle. There's another imp hiding in this corner here. Whack. And then they stagger, guard counter, and then they become easy. Relatively easy. Those grave gloveworts are also useful. Okay, so this switch, this is the main set piece of dungeons. Once you hit the switch, you're opening those large doors that we saw at the beginning of this dungeon level. So we're going to go back and go through those doors. Having said that, before we go through them, always a good idea to replenish your flasks and replenish your health. And if necessary, change your weapons around and change your spells and ashes of war around. We're too early for that, but when we go into our later dungeons, we're going to prepare very carefully for each boss. Preparation is the key to Elden Ring. It may seem like a pain. We've got our fire pots. I've crafted another one. We've got 2 fire pots. We've got our bow and arrow. This is a tough boss, best tackled from a distance. This is the Earth Tree Burial Watchdog. There was a time at an early stage where they gave me a lot of trouble, and now I've kind of figured out how to tackle them. First and foremost, fire pot, which takes out a decent chunk of this creature's health. Thought I had one more fire pot. Anyway. So this is what the bow and arrow is useful for. Just get them from a distance. If you can be bothered, you can do all of it through bow and arrow. You would need about, I reckon at this stage, about 40 or 50 arrows. You can upgrade your bow and arrow as well. Your bow as well, to do more damage. But yeah, we've got about 12 arrows left. I think we can kind of get quite a lot done. I mean, you do have to learn the patterns of this creature a little bit, as I have done, which is why I'm able to dodge away even when it gets close to me. I know exactly when it's going to come down. It might even be useful to count. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then you can dodge on the 4. Yeah, if he's close to you, that is. If it is close to you. Why is... Anyway. So we've got him down to a very, very decent low level of health with all our arrows, and we're going to do the rest through the sword. And for this, you have to learn his pattern a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then run in and whack. And that's that. You may have to do that a few times depending on how low the health is. But that's our third boss done. And we've got a bunch of runes. We're going to run into Earth Tree Watchdogs of varying difficulty. So that's a very good one to do early. A very good one to do early. You don't want to get a more difficult Earth Tree Watchdog at a later stage. Anyway, we've got enough runes to upgrade. And don't forget, we're doing Vigor and Endurance. Vigor and Endurance at this stage to upgrade our health and stamina. Alright. Thank you very much.